That leads me to the second major topic, which is CBDCs, and why Biden is trying to get that done as quickly as possible. Now, I've reported before that the one place they really tried this was in Ethiopia. And Ethiopia basically went into rebellion. Only 2% of the population agreed to go along with the CBDC. They inflicted it anyway. The digital part of it didn't work. All of a sudden, people were without cash, and they had a countrywide revolution. And they put the finance minister in jail and got rid of the prime minister or the president, whoever he is. And then they started over again without the CBDCs. I think that's going to happen all over the world if they try to do this, but they will try to do this. And so I want to dive into the money situation for a moment because it's so ridiculous. I was just interviewed last week for a film that a friend of Thrive, David Morgan, is doing on basically the global economic scam. And it was really fun to just get to talk about how, they make it as complicated as they can so that we think, oh, there's no way I'll ever be able to understand, interest rates or fractional reserve or fiat money or any of this kind of stuff. So I better leave it up to the experts. And who are the experts? Well, they're the economists that they pay. They're the academicians that they provide tenure to if they go along with the agenda. And then they're the politicians and the bankers who are benefiting from it. So I'm sure you've seen a meme circulating that says something like, if they can print the money, how come they're taxing us? Well, that's a good question that they don't want you to ask, because they're doing this delicate balancing act between printing as much money as they can get away with and taxing us as much as they can get away with. So I don't know how many of you have seen this video, but it's kind of like the Javier Milei speech or something like that. When I saw this video, I was literally just cracking up with joy that somebody finally captured this on film. This is a guy named Jared Bernstein, who is literally the chair of the Council of Economic Advisors for Biden. So in their top expert advisory, he's their number one guy. So he's being interviewed for a film called Finding the Money. And this woman, fortunately, has the knowledge and the courage to ask him. She didn't ask about the taxing question, but she put it in terms of if you have the ability to print money, how come you keep borrowing? So here's what he says.
The U.S. government can't go bankrupt because we can print our own money.
It obviously begs the question, why exactly are we borrowing in a currency that we print ourselves? I'm waiting for someone to stand up and say, why do we borrow our own currency in the first place?
Like you said, they print the dollar. So why does the government even borrow?
Well, again, some of this stuff gets, some of the language some of the language and concepts are just confusing. I mean, the government definitely prints money, and it definitely lends that money, which is why the government definitely prints money, and then it lends that money by selling bonds. Is that what they do?
This is called gaslighting.
They sell bonds. Yeah, they sell bonds, right? Because they sell bonds and people buy the bonds and lend them the money. Yeah, so a lot of times, at least to my ear with MMT, the language and the concepts can be kind of unnecessarily confusing, but there is no question that the government prints money and then it uses that money to
no question.
So
let's see. His blood pressure just went through the roof.
I can't really talk. I don't get it. I don't know what they're talking about. Because it's like the government clearly prints money. It does it all the time, and it clearly borrows. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this debt and deficit conversation. So I don't think there's anything confusing there.
That last line is an absolute classic. I don't think there's anything confusing. I just have no idea how it works. And I really wish I weren't on camera having to answer this question. Oh my goodness.